Meniscus repair, why to do it? So meniscus repair is important to restore function, minimize the load transmission, minimize the contact stress. The meniscus contribute to stability. Is very important. If you are doing a meniscus, this talk is mainly because based on a meniscus tear which is along with your ligament injuries. So if you have a ligament injury and along with that you have a meniscus injury, how to approach it? So the meniscus contributes to stability. So if supposedly you have a patient in which you have done a very good ACL reconstruction, another patient you have done an ACL reconstruction with a partial meniscectomy, and in one patient you have done a repair. ACL is same on both the sides, but the posterior horn of the meniscus will serve as a partial restraint to anterior translation. So the post-op drawer will be more in those patients in which the partial medial meniscectomy has been performed. So it has not only a role in the cushioning, but it also has a secondary restraint to the drawer. So they also contribute to the stability, and they also have a contoprotective value. So when to do a meniscectomy, when to do a repair, it's a very important decision, and a number of factors do come into practice along with your expertise. So location, you need to see the type, you can see the etiology, concomitant injuries, and the patient profile. Okay. Now this is a relatively old talk. So these healing rates have been increasing over time. So from periphery, if you are within 2 millimeters, you have around 90% healing rate. If 3 millimeters, it's 74%. If 5 millimeters, is 50%. If you see the red-white zone, usually they are successful. So you can repair the tears in the red zone. You can repair the tear in the red-white zone. We are repairing some tears in the white-white zone, but again you have to explain to the patient that some of them may not heal. So if you see, there can be a lot of tear variants which you can have. You can have this sort of a horizontal tear. You can have, this is a radial tear. This is again a full thickness vertical tear. This is a bucket handle tear, and this is a flap tear. So you can have different patterns of meniscus tear which can be associated. So this is a horizontal tear. So horizontal tear, you have a variable stress, shear stress between the superior and inferior margin. So it's the flap like this, and there is a margin in between. And ideally, what you do is, this can be associated with meniscus cyst formation. So you can have a cyst on the posterior side. So ideally, why I do is I expose this to and I close superior and inferior flaps. So earlier consideration was doing a meniscectomy, but nowadays what I do, I put one anchor on the top, all inside suture, one up and one down, and we close the horizontal gap. So that will prevent any sort of the further formation of the cyst. Now vertical tears are most commonly repaired. So if they are classically located at 2 millimeters, then definitely you repair. But most of these vertical tears, it is better to repair, and they usually will have a good tears. Now radial tear is a very interesting topic. So classically said, as it was there, if you have a partial radial tear up to 90%, you have to do a partial meniscectomy, and if you have a complete radial tear that is more than 90% of the meniscus involved, then you should repair. But now with the invent of newer techniques, we are repairing more and more of radial tears. Now this is specifically helped by our special anchors like X-Fix and Root Fix. So besides repairing the root and the extrusion, these devices are very good to repair the radial tears also. How? So what we do is, we put the anchor at the radial side. So if there is a radial tear like this, you put an anchor here, and then you put one suture here and one suture here and close it like this. So for radial tears, as I told you, for the anterior 60%, you can repair it with the X-Fix. The posterior 40%, you can repair with the Root Fix. So